Hi there, I'm Mrs. Capps and I teach 7th grade honors ELA at Mojave. And I couldn't get rid of this funny little exclamation point here on my cover slide. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. It's like too small and doesn't quite fit. Anyway, I regret that we're not meeting in person, that we are meeting this way through, again, a camera. I'm getting weary of the Zoom screen and the Teams screen and the FaceTime. And it'll be really, really nice to get to meet parents and kids in person again. I'm very much looking forward to that day. Anyway, this is going to be a little overview for you about my 7th grade honors ELA class and what we do. Many of you have had siblings go through my class. It hasn't changed a whole lot. I mean, I do some things differently just to keep me from getting bored because I like to do things differently and grade different papers and different examples of writing. So it'll be an adventure for sure. Here's a little overview of Honors ELA. Our curriculum is novel-based in SUSD middle school for now, and we do a lot of writing. That novel-based curriculum is hopefully, I mean, it's my opinion, going to be changing. There should be an ELA adoption coming up here in the next year where we'll actually have a curriculum to base things off of, base our lessons from, and I'm very much looking forward to that. In this overview is a tentative list of novels, so you'll be able to at least get a snapshot of what your child most likely will be reading. Students are keeping a writing notebook. They're currently using it in my class, and it stays at home right now. So they're expected to bring that to our class, my classroom, when, not if, we return to in-person teaching. So if you have not seen that notebook, you might want to ask and make sure they're keeping one and writing in it. So far, we haven't done any creative writing. We've just done some note-taking definitions and terms, examples, and things like that. So a little bit about my systems and procedures. Homework, class activities, all that is posted in Google Classroom, along with important updates and information. For example, today, one of my honors students realized that I had attached a document to an assignment that I did not intend to attach, and he let me know. So I went in and updated the class that they did not indeed need to finish that one particular sheet because actually it wouldn't have made any sense for them to do it, but some of them might have tried to do it anyway. I will be posting grades in Synergy and using something that I call a 1-point system in Google Classroom that represents submission only. A 1 point in Google Classroom is, did they do it? Yes, 1 point. Did they do it? No, 0 out of 1. But the real grade, when I go in and I actually analyze the work, that goes into Synergy. Late work, I will accept that for up to 2 weeks past the due date for a 10% penalty. And the other 7th grade ELA teacher and I both have that same policy. It's uniform across 7th grade. Okay. So our Unit 1 novels is underneath my picture here. I need to move it over there. Quarter 1, these are our Unit 1 novels. The first one is called Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus by Dusty Bowling. She's an author that actually lives here locally. She lives in Cave Creek, and the book is set in Scottsdale, Arizona, which I think is kind of a interesting twist for the kids. If you are wondering about the meaning of that title, it's a little curious, ask your student because they should be able to explain it. What does she mean by insignificant events in the life of a cactus? It's actually rather profound, so hopefully they know what that is. And this quarter, we will also be reading a book called Warrior's Heart. We're focusing on those two because they're written in first-person point of view, and the assessment for this quarter is a personal narrative written in first person, basically a personal story that tells about a choice or a challenge, and then delves into the consequences of that event, and it includes a reflection on the event. So that's their big writing piece that comes at the end of the quarter. So some of the standards that we cover in quarter one, students will learn to cite evidence from reading to support ideas. They'll learn to make inferences from the novel. They will analyze how particular story elements or drama, we don't really get to drama in quarter one, but how certain story elements like the setting affect the plot, characters. It's all intertwined and it all affects one another. They will also study the meaning of words and phrases, how they're used in the text. They will learn about figurative language and then connotative meanings and denotation, which is more like the dictionary definition. We'll study grammar and we will learn to write using grade appropriate conventions, including capitalization, punctuation, and spelling. Even in honors, I have already been making a ton of comments about capitalizing the pronoun I, capitalizing the first letter of a sentence, and putting punctuation at the end of a sentence. Review, 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 nail it into their little brains. They need to do those things for academic writing. It's very, very important. And actually, not little brains, very large brains. In order to write a narrative, students will also learn about plot, point of view, characterization, setting, and writing dialogue. So it's a lot. It's a lot to fit in. Quarter two and beyond. So some of these book selections are a little bit tentative due to distance learning versus in-person teaching, what I will have available to me, if I can get books from the warehouse or if I have to use what is available on our Mojave campus. So some of our planned texts include The Outsiders, Call of the Wild, which your students should already have, Ghost Boys, Nothing But the Truth, Freak the Mighty, Tangerine, 12 Angry Men, and Twelfth Night, which is a Shakespeare play, one of my favorites. Students will learn to craft a written argument and support it with research. They will learn to read, analyze, and write original poetry. They will also learn to write an effective literary analysis and, in the end, hopefully perform an original monologue that is entertaining and fun to watch. So a little bit about me, just a tiny bit. I'm a previous SUSD parent. Our daughter and 3 sons all graduated from Chaparral kind of over the last decade, starting in 2012. Last one was last year. I majored in English literature at the University of Kansas, and I obtained my master's in secondary education at Grand Canyon University. This is my 6th year at Mojave, and I have been married for 28 years. I live out in Fountain Hills, and my husband and I, we have 2 grandkids and 2 dogs. So that's a little bit about my life. I love my job. I love working with the kids. I love reading and discussing literature with them. And I get joy from being with your kids every day. So hopefully we get to morph from this screen presence into face-to-face sooner rather than later. If you have any questions for me, you can reach out. Email's the best, acaps@susd.org. Have a great day or evening or whatever it may be.